What's going on, everybody? My name is Tim, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a bike by Esker called the Japhy. Before we get started, huge shout out to Esker for sending this to me to review. I've had it for the last couple of months and I've had a blast on it. So just to cover the basics, it's a steel hardtail mountain bike that is made to do lots of things. It's kind of like a do-it-all kind of mountain bike that has lots of features and a really solid group set. The numbers that matter to me the most are reach, the wheelbase, the chainstay length, and the head tube and seat tube angles. Now to go over those real quick, I'm 5'9", about 160 pounds with a 31.5-inch inseam, and I was sent a medium, and it fits pretty good. The reach on the size medium that I have comes in at 450. The wheelbase is 1,171. The chainstay length is variable from 425 to 437. Seat tube angle is nice and steep at 75 degrees, which is awesome. And the head tube angle is semi-slacked at 66 degrees. So those are the numbers on the bike. Let's just go ahead and check out the components on it right now. All right, so let's start out the front and make our way back. It's got these Esker branded handlebars coming in at 780 millimeters width. Really, really cool badging right there with the Esker logo. Super slick. Coming down this 120 mil fork, which is an MRP, and I like it a lot. You got a compression knob here so you can change between different settings there. And the 120 mil fork makes a lot of sense for the types of riding that this bike is made to do. Now where it really shines is in the custom steel quad-butted frame that it's got going on. I mean, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. And you can tell that Esker really likes small details because the welds are so on point and the fit and finish of the frame is just absolutely gorgeous. SRAM G2 levers and 4 piston calipers right there. So tons and tons of stopping power with lots of modulation, and these levers feel amazing. They feel so much better than any SRAM lever that I've ever used before. Dropper post with a wolf tooth thumb lever there. This thing's got a little bit of play in it, but again, this is a demo unit, so maybe there's just been a lot of use on that. I can tighten it too if I wanted to. Again, the SDG with the Esker branded thumb lever there, but the SDG specifically. Dropper post there coming in, I think, at 150 mil, which is perfect. So a medium-sized bike with the 150 mil dropper is really nice. This seat tube here looks pretty sweet. It's got a little bit of a bend in it following to allow for a huge 2.8 tire in there. So this bike comes stock with 29-inch Industry 9 Enduro S wheels, and the paw engagement sounds really good out the box. Check this out. That's definitely one of the better sounding out of the box hubs that I've ever heard before in my life. You got SRAM GX cranks. You got a SRAM Eagle front chainring there, followed by this huge SRAM Eagle cassette in the back. So a solid group set in this build. Very, 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 very solid build. So SRAM Eagle up here in the cockpit as well. So the whole Eagle outfit looking real fine. We've got external cabling throughout the whole bike, which is really, really nice for kind of what this bike is set up to do. So bike packing and off-road adventures. So making maintenance really easy on this bike. I like that a lot. Mounting points for days. So you have some here, 3 here on the down tube here, some under here, 1 on the seat tube there, and I think that's about it. So lots of mounting points for you to load this thing down with gear and put all the accessories that you need to get out there and do some serious bike packing. Again, the variable dropouts right here, I like their system that they've got going on. You adjust everything by loosening up this big old nut right here and then sliding this whole dropout housing forward and back. So again, variable dropout distances from 425 to 437. There's a 2.8 tire in there, and there's some very tight distancing going on right about there. And in fact, this is a 2.8 tire, but I do have some tire rub, but I think that's just because the tire is just a little bit crooked. So no big deal there. You can kind of, but what that's really cool for is you can kind of adjust and set this bike up to take like a 3-inch wheel if you wanted to, or change the chainstay length, giving you like a more twitchy feel ride or more kind of longer-ish ride for those more comfy downhill sections. We've got a WTB Volt saddle on there, which is one of my favoriteest saddles. This is one of the saddles that just work right out of the box. You don't have to, you know, break it in too long. It's just real comfy. And that's pretty much it, you know, there's the bike. I'm really digging it. I like the fact that it has a really, really solid group set. The steel frame is really special on this bike. They're basically taking a 4130 chromoly steel and putting their extra sauce in there and quad butting it. And this bike has such a smooth and supple ride in it that will hopefully come through on the ride videos as we get into those. But that's pretty much the bike. So let's get into some riding clips. Let's do it. Third ride on the Japhy. So sick. Such an easy climber. This bike climbs, dude. I can't wait for the downhill. My third ride impression is this bike climbs. Climbs real easy. It's sprinty. When you hammer down, it goes too. Responsive. Yeah, when you hammer down, this bike is responsive to it. It wants to go. So that makes climbing that much easier or more enjoyable. I don't know, climbing sucks, but it sucks less when the bike you're climbing with makes it a little more effortless. The 2.8 tires and them being 29ers gives you so much rollover confidence. I love it. And man, that hub sounds so good. I love it. Right out the box to have a hub sound like that out the box. That's dope. This trail's pretty rocky. I forget. Ooh, point and case right there. Yes, dude. Holy crap. That was rad. Wow, this bike feels great. I have nothing bad to say. 29ers are sick for just rolling over rocks, and you get the speed benefits. I'm more used to 27.5 on a mountain bike, but these feel fine once you get used to it. Everything is just an adjustment anyway, right? When you first get something, you just gotta get used to it. Oh shit. Woohoo! This is a great all-rounder bike for sure. You know, it's not trying to do anything it's not trying to do too much of anything, but it doesn't limit you. Like, you're not held back by the bike, you're held back by the rider. From what I can tell, not the most aggressive bike, not the most slackest bike, but definitely on greens, woo, let you mash. In blues, I'd take it on a black for sure. Again, you're just kind of limited by your own skill. This bike is giving you all the tools you need. The steel frame, slacked head angle somewhat, modern geo, you know, longer-ish reach, variable chain stays, and lots of customized, custom, what am I trying to say? You can customize it and dial it into your riding preference and riding style. I don't know, it's just a great all-around bike. Okay, here we go.
my God. What the hell? Yeah, that's fucking sick. It just felt bomb-proof, stable, felt planted, felt flowy. A lot of that's the air and the, you know, the PSI that I have it at. It's the fork, it's the frame, it's everything, dude. That felt amazing. Okay. Here we are, Bow Ridge in Fairfax on the Esker Japhy. And it's a lot of fun. Conditions are prime right now. Oh, man. Feeling good. A lot of trust in this bike. Whew. Yeah, buddy. No, I cut it down, dude. I felt so bad. What a gorgeous ride. It's a great all-rounder bike. You know, I've said it a million times, but I like the category they put it in. Bike packing and trail. That's perfect. That was cool.
It was. Or are we just gonna go? Let Tom go. Hey Fred, hurry up. You don't have time to goof off.
Okay. God, it's getting really pretty right now. The light just coming through the trees is everything.
Wasn't the point to get pretty close to him now?
Yeah, but I literally at one point.
Oh, Tom's bunny hopping now. Yeah, this bike is awesome, man. Does everything that you need it to. That's my consensus. Climb's good, descent's good, everything's just good. Even keeled. Very stable feeling. I like the variable dropouts. It'd be cool to slap it out a little bit more and put maybe like a 150 fork on here just to see how that changes the downhill, because sometimes I do feel like I'm gonna go over my handlebars, but maybe that's just me doing things wrong, I don't know. But
all right, I'm gonna hit you with my final thoughts on this bike, and I think this last clip pretty much summarizes everything perfectly. This bike does a lot of things good and nothing great. And that's not a bad thing, that's actually a very good thing in my eyes, because this is the one bike that you can buy and just be stoked on the purchase that you just made. One, the J2 build, which is this bike, has a very high spec group set, and all of those top-notch components help bring this bike to a really well-rounded package. The variable dropouts are a huge plus because you get one bike that can kind of have a ton of different riding characteristics. You can have a longer chainstay, you can have a shorter chainstay, you can put a 27.5 wheel in the back, have a 29er in the front. There's a lot of flexibility with this bike, and that's a huge plus. You kind of get one bike that can do all of these things. Well, you know, when I checked out Esker's marketing kind of jargon on their website, it didn't like try to fluff anything, and I appreciated that. You know, this bike to me was perfect for the trail rides that I did, some of the single track, some rowdy stuff, and then also just days where you just want to kind of cruise and hang out with your friends and enjoy the ride. One thing that can't get overlooked on this bike is the steel. It is very real on this bike. The quad-butted sauce that they put on this bike or do and tweak in this steel is very noticeable. This ride, the ride characteristics of this bike are nice and supple. It hammers down. It feels like soft steel, but it's also very, very rowdy capable. I don't know how to explain it, but it just covers the types of riding that I was doing on this bike really well. I love hardtails and I take them on anything. They can do a lot, especially with this bike because it could take such a big tire, you can air down and then just have the time of your life. So one thing that kept coming up in my mind was that this is the bike that's just gonna be there for you. Kind of like your best friend, you know? You can count on it, you can buy it, you can just decide to go on a bike packing adventure and load this thing down. You can hit some single track. I mean, it's a mountain bike. It's fun, it's a tool, but it's a very well crafted tool. And that's where I'm gonna leave this video. If I've missed anything and you wanna know anything else about it, please drop a comment below. Otherwise, please consider subscribing to this channel, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and we'll check you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Later.